Hello. Welcome back to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I want to say a big good morning to everybody that's listening across the world. I mean, it's morning here in Ghana. It's about I'm shooting this around 7 a.m. Ghana time, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's chosen the channel, everybody that has been critical of it, everybody that has sent in thoughts, everybody that's found a need to put in a comment. Honestly, I'm very grateful. Um, the brand keeps on going, and honestly, a big thank you, a big thank you to you. There are a host of stuff that a lot of people haven't seen with Chelsea and then their growth. I mean, tactically, people have said a lot of things. I mean, with respect to the fact that people think that Mauricio Pochettino um, isn't doing so much of a good work, and then there's a lot of stuff that he could have done. People talk about the misprofiling. I mean, which is true, by a large extent. Pochettino has his issues. Um, this is my pure thought on where I think Chelsea are in the context of where they've come from, and then how they go for it from here. So I think that Mauricio Pochettino showed glimpses of the things that he wanted to do in preseason. Again, guys, if you've not subscribed to the channel, kindly do want to subscribe to the channel. And would love to hear from you. Send in your notifications, your comments. Send in your comments in there. Let us hear from you. Let us have a take from you. We'd be glad to hear from you. Once again, my name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And over here, we do the best of football analysis across board. Every team, most especially Chelsea these days. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So when you look at this Chelsea team and you compare it to the top six sides, this Chelsea team is more closer to what Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur are doing than what Arsenal and Manchester City are doing. And I'll explain. So hold on. And I think that's what a lot of fans, I mean, Chelsea fans should realize that the team isn't a Man City yet. It isn't an Arsenal yet. And when I say this with respect to control. You watch Arsenal these days, and they are um, they have a lot of control. They control games easily. They walk into games and they know that they're going to control large parts of the game. And it's not just about possession. It's not just about having the ball. It's about having, even without the ball, where you can shove your opponents to, showing them inside, showing them outside, counter pressing them aggressively in their own zones. So you force them to go long, you win the aerial battles. All of these things are the tenet of control in football, and it's important. And teams like Arsenal and Man City are next level with respect to that. And um, Chelsea, fortunately, I mean, it's not unfortunate. I think that it's just a process. It's a point in the projects that Chelsea are building, and you do not expect them to all of a sudden just jump from 0 to 20 or something. No, it's a process. And again, it's just that Chelsea fans don't realize where the team is. So again, in preseason, Pochettino went into the very good shape of the 3-2-5, which is brilliant. Now he was rocked by injuries and everything. And he tend to realign or rechange how he wanted his teams to play. And then he made a lot of adjustments. And the adjustments have seen him sometimes play four center back, which is very boring. Albeit, if you're a team and you don't have a lot of control in terms of aerial dominance in your system and your structure, and some players to receive the ball on the half 10 and they're secured with that, and you know they're going to have a lot of turnover, you prioritize a few other things like height. You prioritize 1v1 defending from wide areas. And you see, the funny thing is that people look at Axel Desasi and say, hey, he's not a good centre back. How is he in there? Yes, Desasi is not an elite centre back. He's not a bad centre back either. He's in between. He's just slightly above average, right? But he gets the job done. And you see, for a team like that, you need somebody who will be like a fifth choice centre back, who will sit on the bench and will not mourn. He will come in and play games. When turn to sit on the play on the right hand side, he can play on the right back. Then play at right centre back, he can play. Why? It's important because going forward, the team will be settled. And in a settled team, you need these characters. And there is no point literally just saying that, oh, that's not good, so you shouldn't be playing. That's not good, you shouldn't be playing. Well, no. It's clear that the balance in Chelsea's centre back position is between Benoit Belachile and then Thiago Silva. One experienced and one young exuberant, one pacey, one or two pacey, but then very intelligent and has a lot of experience. So it's important. And when I put it in the context of Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur, I mean in terms of transition and where the teams are, Liverpool are punching above their weight, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, Klopp is just a genius so much so that he finds ways to get the teams to win. Um, Liverpool bypass the midfield. You don't hear Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, they're always bypassing the midfield. They're making Alexis McAllister useless and whatnot." But Chelsea, when Poch tries to bypass the midfield, a lot more of transitional balls and then going through the channels. Everybody says, "Hey, Enzo Fernandez, blah blah blah, 100 million." You can't just say, okay, fine, we have Enzo Fernandez, we're going to play 4-3-3. The other elements of the system that isn't there, like reception in half spaces, where is Kani Chukwemeka to be the connector? Nkuku just returned. Palmer half space. Romeo Lavia, because Moise Caicedo is not a single DM. He's a more, at best, a double pivot or a box to box. And as I've said several times, that Chelsea can only switch to a proper 4-3-3, very good structure, excellent shape on and off the ball. If Lavia is fully back and Lavia sits in the hole, then you have Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo. Then they will have separate roles. Moise is going to be more box to box, whilst Enzo Fernandez will help in build up and also help in terms of if you want to receive the ball in the half spaces or help Romeo Lavia when we constrict the pack. Himself and Lavia will play those balls to break those lines when you sit against them low block sides. So it's just about where the team is now. I mean, there's nothing wrong. And I've seen proper improvement as well with respect to where the team has come from. Again, you look at the last two games that have been played against Sheffield United and then the last one against Newcastle United. The counter press has been brilliant. Brilliant counter pressing. And I think that was the part that was lost where there were a lot of turnovers, and Chelsea would rather retreat. The players would rather retreat rather than going for the counter pressing, counter press aggressively, win the ball back in the recycle play, then have sustained spells of pressure to take the sting out of the opponent's sail. But they weren't doing that, and a lot of the times it brought a host of problems to the team, like turnovers against Nottingham Forest. I saw one against West Ham United, Newcastle at their home, and a couple of times. And this time, you need to do and do it right. And that is what I'm seeing, especially against Sheffield. Yes, people said it was just Sheffield. I said, hey, it wasn't just Sheffield. I was excited about that. The ball carrying ability of Benoit Bellachile when the team sits. And it's important when you play against a very, very good low block side and they are very compact in central areas. One of the things you want to do brilliantly well is to have a very good ball carrier. Um, if you are if you are lucky and this ball carrier is even also a press resistant player, then hey, he dribbles his way through and makes nonsense of a mid block, right? So that's the job that now Chelsea has to do. I think that Chelsea in the next transfer market ought to get a midfielder, a CM that is more of a press resistant CM in central areas who can help the ball carrying ability of Benoit Bellachile, and then of course in the middle of the park, the Enzo Fernandez to break those lines. Again, somebody say Enzo isn't necessarily a press resistant player. He's good at the 1-2 actions in the middle of the park, the 10, the shoulder drop, 1-2-3 actions, brilliant. But you want somebody that can pick up the ball and carry it forward, and that's exactly what you want. Same for Cole Palmer, who's also brilliant in between the lines for Chelsea, but not necessarily what's the name, but not necessarily a press resistant player again. So and I think that yes, when people say it's about coaching, it's about coaching. Yes, nobody says that Poch is doing an excellent job. It's just that you watch the team and people consistently fixate on the not so too good things that are going on with the club. But there are real stuff that are going on and there are lots of improvement. I can point some to you. There's balance in that defense. Yes, talk about that Benoit Bellachile mistake, but yes, there's still balance in that defense. Again, there's very good counter press. Build up is excellent. Yes, people will say it is kind courtesy of Caicedo's excellent ability in build up. But yeah, that is true. He's very, very good in terms of build up. But you can't make nonsense of the structure either. I think that when Chelsea played Axel Disasi at right back, it wasn't the right thing to do tactically. But again, you look at the bigger picture of Malo Gusto just returning from injury, and you don't want to just throw him into a game that was going to be high intensity from get-go. You'd want to give him some minutes and warming up into the team. It's important. And for a team that's been getting recurrent injuries, you don't expect much of a team to be taking chances. The same set of people will call him clueless and call him irresponsible if he does stuff like that. And he is managing these players very well. Yes, Ian Matheson are left back and whatnot, but Chelsea fans are some way. Thomas Tuchel played a 3-4, 3-box-3 midfield shape. That won Chelsea the Champions League. A lot of rival fans and Chelsea fans are like, call that haram football. The next season, Pep Guardiola adopted it, played the same thing, won the Champions League 2 seasons later. And then everybody now sits back and says, hey, Pep is a genius and whatnot. That's the thing with Chelsea fans. But I don't see a problem playing Levi Cole at left back. Because essentially he's not playing at left back. If we have a very good right back, if we have resumed, Levi doesn't necessarily play left back. He play um, at left back, but not as a left back, right? So he forms back with a back three in the rest defense so that the right hand side will go on and keep the weight and do the job of a right back. He doesn't do the job of a left back in that regard. Again, you are going to play in games where you need Ian Matheson to come in there for Matheson to play. I think Matheson can step in and do a very good job. At left back, at right back, same for Malo Gusto, who I think that in the next subsequent game should be playing because now he is fully fit and he is able to play in those zones and he should be allowed to play there instead of Axel Sassi in that regard. So yeah, it's very important. It's very very important that fans understand where the team is and where the team is going. Um, for the misprofiling of Enzo Fernandez, I think that's going to be seen until Lavia comes back. Trust me, you will not get the best out of Enzo Fernandez in such a midfield. A midfield, you see, the characters in that midfield are a little bit dissimilar. That of Moise Caicedo, Conor Gallagher, and then Enzo Fernandez. Conor is more of the energetic person, the destroyer. Same for Moise, who can play. Moise is more fits that midfield character. Moise and Gallagher fits that, especially now that Gallagher has developed his technical ability and is able to pass well as well, and is able to carry the ball and do all the technical actions in the midfield, and not those times where he only had that great part of his game, and it's important in that regard. Now Enzo is more technical, more technical, and defensively he's a little bit frail, right? And you need him in a system where you are totally controlling the game and you have somebody sitting by him. Even at Argentina, it was himself and Alexis McAllister, and I see Lavia as a McAllister next to him if he comes to Chelsea, and they both sit in there. The team pushes up. Moy goes in there and do the box to box job sometimes. When you are playing against a low block, you need that. So that when you're playing against the big boys, when you need a distress, corner comes into the middle and that's his distraction job. It is very, 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 very important. Very important given where the team is. And yes, it is misprofiling, but in the context of where the team is, it's a little bit unfair when you say, okay, that's misprofiling, right? Now to Georgi Petrovic. I think that when Petrovic was coming to Chelsea, I mean, he was seemingly unknown. Even for people who are ardent player scouts across the world, you don't come across a player like Georgi Petrovic. But if you look at his resume and where he has come from as a person, he comes from a family of goalkeepers. He has played his trade in the MLS. He has been in Europe some time before, and then he's back in Europe again. I think that what I like about him is people began to see this, and I didn't want to jump on it at the beginning because I thought it was going to be a little bit unfair to Rob Sanchez, right? But he has that composure. Trust me. Um, I saw it a couple of times. Somebody made a comment in one of those previous videos, and I said, "Hey, let's be patient. Let's not just make it look like Rob is not. Yes, he's not as composed as Joggy, but not let us make it look too bad in his face." And if you look at Joggy Petrovic, and he has that composure. He's calm. He's relaxed, and he gets the job done. And I like the fact that he's built and tall, and then he can. He's very very agile. He was brought in for a short stopping. I haven't seen too much of a short stopping. I'm waiting to see the proper short stopping that people spoke about before he came in. But yeah, that penalty save was brilliant. I mean, I don't know if you are comfortable with just that penalty as a short stopping, but I want to see um, in game. I want to see the short stopping that he brings to the team. So I've said several times that if you look at even the midfield, back to the midfield again, the base, Chelsea's midfield base. It's supposed to be a 3-2-5, and in a 3-2-5, you need two people to occupy the half spaces. And I think that if we are able to settle the team very well, then Cole Palmer and Nkunku can occupy the half spaces, whilst you have two players also that can keep the weight. On the right, it can be so when Cole comes in from the right, then you can have Malo Gusto occupying that width. Then you have your man on the left hand side, Raheem Sterling, Mihailo Modric, which one occupies that place. Then you can have Amando Broja or even Nicolas Jackson leading lines. It's very, very um, important. So the box midfield is very important. Forming a box midfield is very, very important and in in the next phase of Chelsea's growth. Right. Again, the Carabao Cup pairings is out. Semi-final. Chelsea are playing Middlesbrough. It's a great one for Chelsea, and it's a very good chance of winning something. Liverpool are facing Fulham, and Roots the final. I foresee a Chelsea Liverpool final, and if Liverpool are able to make top four, but don't win the Carabao Cup, then it means that Chelsea may have a chance regardless once they get to the final. And it's very, very it's exactly how it's supposed to be in that regard. So and somebody said it. He said if you want five headers on the pitch, you need Caicedo plus CB, fullback plus fullback. And considering Jackson and Kuku, Palmer, Sterling, Modric are all but useless in the air, so are Enzo and Lavia. We don't have an Ivanovic, Marcos Alonso, but we have Cole and Desasi. And it's very important. It talks about Chelsea's use of Cole and Desasi as fullbacks, who essentially are not fullbacks. They can't cross. And I think that's why Malo Gusto will be very, very important with respect to crossing. Very important. And you need the centre backs in the box. You need headers because in the middle of the park, and it goes back to the point I was making earlier on. In the middle of the park, Chelsea doesn't have that aerial threat, and it is not the best thing. Then, when you go forward, you want stuff like this when you're playing in very, very difficult games. Um, yeah, very, very difficult games in the EPL. So I wrote this down. That I think that Chelsea have some great sequences with the ball, especially in build-up phase. Very, very great stuff. And those are some of the positives I see about the team that a lot of people aren't seeing. But my biggest concern is in the final third. Again, that's my biggest concern. Final third, creating the quality chances, but not really converting them. We can see it in offensive patterns. It's not only a lack of finishing, but also a lack of how to create space in opponent's defense. It can be fixed, and I think that that is spot on. Um, not about how to create the chances again. Really, sometimes though, it goes beyond just creating the chances. It's about how to create the space in the opponent's half and then making good use of it. It's important. It's also a little part. In build up, I'm okay. In build up, really, I'm okay. And I think people are even talking about Enzo Fernandez because Chelsea aren't winning. When Chelsea wins, people really will not worry because I don't see any issue at all with respect to build up. The issue is in the final third when you have to create spaces, when you have to um, convert those chances, and those are the issues that Chelsea faces. And I think that with time they are going to come good, guys. This is where I draw the curtain. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'd want to hear from you. Thank you. Have a nice day.